the way you want it to be done. So getting out of that mindset of ain't enough time in a day to understanding that it's my day, like I control my day, and
Yeah.
um, I'm gonna give time to what needs to get time, so I can get what I want out of that time. Um, yeah, so stepping into that, man. I started Sunrise Book, listening to it on Audible.
Oh shit, I didn't even know they had an audio version of it. That's cool.
I think 16 hours.
The book big as hell. I probably have read like a quarter of it, and yeah, I need to get back to it. That's dope.
Yeah, so and just him thinking about not being a slave to time and everything, man, and his concept of time. And even my pops, man, he's retiring after 40 some odd years of working at the post office. And one of the biggest thing he talks about is I'm going to have my time back. And me saying time sounds extra Cali, time. I got my time back. um, he's gonna have his time back. And that's something I've been working with for years of how to manage my own time. And Tommy P, what up? Um, how to manage my own time and really create what I want from my time. Um, and yeah, and understanding like a lot of my time is connected to emotions. What am I feeling like in that moment? And sometimes what I'm feeling like in the moment ain't gonna help me get what I want in the future. So just managing my emotions and my time and all that. Yeah, man, creating an identity around time. That's where I'm at today.
That's what's up. I have another question tied to time because this is episode 6. So I mean it's like more than
Mm.
6 hours just in prep, but you know, this is the sixth time of doing this. How you feel about that?
This is timeless. I haven't felt like I've been locked into a time, man. You could have told me this is our 600th episode, and it still would have felt like, oh man, this easily became something that I just do, and I really thank you, and I really appreciate you for that, for being able to produce this the way you did, where it feel like this is something that's essential to my life and essential to how I manage my time. This ain't nothing I gotta, you know, put on a whole different shirt for and get ready and da 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 da. Like it don't take a lot of labor to be in this space. And this is a space that really helps me. It helps me look at my other time. Am I getting what I get out of this in other areas?
Mm,
Um, and how can I create this in other areas of my life? I want to, start some more groups and stuff and classes and everything. And it needs to feel as easy and as natural as this. So that makes me ask the question, who am I bringing to this slot of time that I have in my life? I'm big on time blocking. I'm big on scheduling. I'm big on calendaring, all that formal stuff that has helped me battle with my anxiety around time and structure my day for a long time. But now it's asking me exactly who am I bringing to this slot on my spreadsheet, to this time on my calendar. Um, because it's important, because sometimes I put it on my calendar, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. But when that time show up, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like being that person. I don't feel like doing that. So it's like I need 90% of my calendar to be the to really function for who I want to be. You know what I
yeah.
mean? I can't have a bunch of stuff on my calendar where I feel like I can't be myself. I feel like I got to work to be something else, and that's on me too. Identifying who I really am and what am I really bringing to a situation to feel comfortable in it, to feel like this is my time. And that takes time. That takes time to understand that. So I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. What am I going to be? 38 this year,
Man.
right? I'm gonna be 38 this year. So I have been a person that I felt like um, I was in love with being young for a long time and everything that came with it. But now man, I appreciate the wisdom of age. I appreciate being able to see, and I appreciate just even the challenges that come with age, where you got to switch it up. You can't do the same thing that you've been doing to get the new results that you want. And
Challenging to get that weight off.
100%, man. I went to a spot last night. It was one of those like local burger joints. You know what I mean? You get a pastrami sandwich and all that kind of stuff there.
Yeah.
And they had like 2 for $3 tacos. I'm thinking they're gonna be just, I don't know, at least street tacos or something. But they were those Jack in the Box tacos with that meat that you don't even really know if it's meat or not. It's like, oh, that's why they were so cheap. Then they put a slice of American cheese in there in the middle. I was like,
Mm-mm.
man, right? And I still feel it. I still feel it. I know I can't
I'm
do that.
sure.
Can't eat late, can't eat junk. But how do you create that in your life? How do you identify with new ways of eating in your life? Because you can't do it that way no more. So even me thinking like, okay, I know I want to switch my diet up and change it up, but it has to be me. Um, I've done fast before. I've been vegetarian and all that kind of stuff, and it was cool. But I need something that's going to be me that I can continue to sustain, and then something I can identify with and still have joy and happiness in. And when I want to go eat some ribs, my daddy ribs, ain't no problem.
Right.
Traveling and exploring new foods and things like that. That's a big part of me. So yeah, it got to be me, man. It got to be me.
I feel that.
What has been the most Mike Brown this week in the way you spent your time?
Ooh, what has been the most Mike Brown this week? Uh, I cooked this week. I cooked for Valentine's Day and it came out really good. Came out really
Okay.
good. But I think yeah, that feels like the clearest for me. And I think also just expressing myself. I'm a part of a couple of different groups right now. And I'm conscious of like the vulnerability that I bring to a space. And yeah, man, that feels like me all the time.
Mm,
Like just being able to express myself without care of how it looks or how it sounds and just really just letting it flow out.
that's dope, man. What'd you cook?
I made a seafood pasta with some crab meat, some shrimp, um, like a cashew cream sauce because I can't fuck with the cheesy. So I had to
Mm-hmm.
grind up some cashews and shit, and it came out really good. Came out really
That's what's
good.
up.
hmm And I
Uh,
and I made some crab legs for the first
oh,
time, and they came out good as hell.
for real? That's what's up, man. You never gave me Megan number, man,
I'm gonna send it to you. I'm
so I
gonna
can
send it to
ask
you.
her if it was really good or not.
She don't like the pasta, but
Okay.
pasta wasn't for her anyway. It's for Valentine's
Okay.
Day.
Okay. That's what's up. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right, man. How's that going?
It's going really well. Yeah, man. I think when you talk about time, um, I've been shifting time as my measurement of value. And
Mm,
in this time, like I haven't felt time at all. I almost feel like I'm not even in the same city that I've been in for the past couple of months. Like I feel like I'm traveling again, time traveling.
hmm. So this is the city that you grew up in, Houston, Missouri City, Texas. But you said it don't feel like it's the
Well, no,
same as
I'm in third ward right now, but
okay.
yeah, it just feel like any other place that we've been together and traveled. You know what I mean?
Got you. Got you. It still feels like new and a different experience. Well, ain't Third Ward gentrified now? So
It is. It definitely is. But
I got
just being in that space of like you could put us in any space and like we'll be there before the space. you know. Something that's been coming up for me a lot is the question of who are you when no one is around, you know?
Hmm.
Because we attach to so many, and I know this is like off topic from what we talking about, but we attach to so many identities of things, and it's like, who are you when it's just you? And I think that's how I'm feeling right now of like,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm in Houston, yeah, I'm here, yeah, I'm there, but when it's just me and my partner, when it's just us, like it's just us. And you could put us in Florida, Maine, Spain, anywhere, and it's gonna be the same thing.
Ooh. Boy, love all the way. That's dope, man. That's beautiful. It made me think of all right, did you see the last Fast and Furious?
Mm, is that the one I think you mean like the last one that came out?
Yeah. So Tyrese and Ludacris was in a like took a car to space. Did you see that?
Nah, I didn't see, I didn't see that.
It was
That
stupid.
sound crazy.
It is. Anyway, but when you talked about you and your partner in that time, it brought me back to Sun Ra. It brought me back to y'all being like in the spaceship, kind of going through going through the universe, going through the galaxies, and you kind of seeing what you want, you experiencing what you want, and running on love, fueled by love and everything. That kind of it's dope. That's a beautiful thing.
I
And
would tell you, for me, and when I hear you say running on love, I think when you are running on love, it creates presence, because
mhm.
this is by far the most present that I've been. I'm not thinking about, I ain't got this job, I ain't doing this, or I'm doing that, or like none of that is on my mind right now. Like I just feel right here in real time.
That's powerful, man. Because I don't think I've ran on love in relationships before. I have ran on what you gonna give me, what you gonna do for me. Am I enough? Am I not enough? How is this gonna look in the future? What is it gonna be? How does it operate? So it's a different paradigm to think about love as a reason and an influence and a fuel for a relationship. And it really makes me even a relationship with myself, especially the relationship with myself. Like this ain't ran on love. This was running on you gotta do better. You ain't doing enough. Why you ain't a lot of negativity and toxicity in my own mind. And being in an intimate relationship, seeing it spill over into that, where it's like, why are you talking like that? Why are you treating her like that? Why are you doing this? And then looking at it as, why am I doing it to myself? So I love to hear you talk about how you and your partner are escaping time and escaping those toxic and negative ways that you treat yourself, and then be showing up in the relationship, man. Because that's something I've really been focusing on. Is I want to be kind to her, and it starts with me being kind to myself first.
Yeah,
Like,
man. And I think being in a relationship and even just being in community, like for me, being
mm-hmm,
immersed in community, like doing the Wednesday meeting with y'all, but also being a part of my book club, being a part of my Artist Way group, like I have to I have to be empathetic to myself in order to show that to the people I'm around. And so they could show that to me as well, what that looks like in their own way.
mm,
Like we all learn from each other, and we all benefit from. I don't know. I just always feel in the same space with the people I'm in community with. So I really try my best to take care of myself so that, when I am feeling down, I can see what that care looks like on other people.
that's big, man. It's been hard for me to let people in like that. It's even in community where I still bring in that competitiveness, that judgment and criticism in the community. And so, yeah, our Monday, our Wednesday, to be able to be in a space where we not just, oh, you need to do that, you need to do this, and condemning each other for not doing things or for doing things, and just kind of having that space to allow somebody to be. and allow myself to be. Yeah, man. I didn't realize that of how I show up in community and how I show up in relationships and how I show up with myself as what am I getting out of this for my time is that ain't love. That ain't love,
Yeah.
you know. And it's something new. I'm still like not even really I don't know what I'm doing, but it kind of comes back to uh yeah, receiving like somebody you in a community with somebody and you know the first thing somebody do something nice for you and the first thing in your mind is okay what they want, what they're trying to do, how they trying to get over them. But then you keep showing up and they keep showing love and it's like, wait, why is this the first thing in my mind and stuff? And why do I keep coming here? What am I here for? Once again, in this in this time I'm dedicating to how am I showing up? And do I have to show up with my guard up? And is it something that's telling me I gotta show up with my guard up? Or something in my mind that's making me put my guard up? Is this really a safe place to be myself? Do I identify with people here? Um, you know, I get that from my church. Actually, everybody's different. Still, just seeing as people that show up in a way where they are trying to really identify with love, man, and that's it's a wild space to be in. You talked about switching topics, man, and I know we get into that. I don't know if there's a, I don't know if there's really a topic focus, um, except you know, I think it's gonna always come back to love and freedom and the core, you know, truths and and power. And I say power, and I want to know what does power mean to you?
Mm. When you when you said that, like as you were saying the word power, the first word that came in my mind is confidence.
Mm.
Um,
What you gonna say?
I do hear people talk about power a lot in relationships, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I don't feel like I've ever operated in that space. Like I've never consciously tried to have power over somebody or control over somebody, you know?
Man, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, I've never I don't know, I've never really felt the need for that. When I do think about power, as I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, I guess, you know, and again, reading all about love, I guess lying is a
Mm-hmm.
form of power and manipulating the situation. So yeah, I have been there, but as far as like really trying to like consciously like control somebody or have power over them, I don't feel like I operate in that space.
Mm. I may have not thought I was for a long time, but realizing how manipulative I can be, choosing the women I engage with, it was always harder for me to, you know, talk to women who I felt in my mind were out of my league. You know what I
Mm,
mean? They had something over me, whether it was their beauty, their brains, their money, whatever. It My brain automatically shut down. But if it's a woman that I feel like, oh, okay, she already liked me, or I have more education than her, I have more whatever than her, it was easier for me to talk to her and a lot of times use that leverage for manipulation and power over her because it's scary in my mind to be in a relationship where you feel like you don't have the power, where someone can touch on your most vulnerable points. Somebody can control you through your emotions, especially when you do not have understanding of your own emotions. So I think I have been, and I'm really working on getting out of that of trying not to establish a sense of power or I got more something in you in this relationship, so that makes me comfortable. I can control you, and I can control this. You know, it's a lie. You really can't control nobody.
it's
Um,
interesting to hear you say that because I feel like I was opposite of I think I would come into spaces so vulnerable that
mhm,
I would know that, you know, this like you said, this person didn't go to college, or this person didn't do this, or I they have a different life experience than me. And in my head, I thought I was being welcoming of that. And then when I get hurt, that's when I tell myself like, well, it wasn't gonna work because it's like that
Mhm.
self-protection. This wasn't gonna work because he ain't go to college, or you know,
Right,
some
right,
shit like that. We wasn't on the same level. But when
right,
I'm in
right.
it, I'm not thinking on that, you know.
Wow, that's beautiful, man. I had an open mind. As soon as before I'm even in, I'm like, this is what I'm going to leverage. It's right here. This is, and I think there has been, and of course, there's been some times where I let it go and I'm comfortable. But then that comfort is usually when I got to go
Hmm.
because if I don't have that leverage to hold on to, sense of power, you just there, you naked, you're in a relationship, and you have to leave it up to this other person to be kind to you, to love you, to whatever, in a way that I ain't even doing for myself all the way. So
Hmm.
it's
And
a scary thing.
I'm thinking right now, like that those measurements of those things. I think what has been my most valuable measurement with people is just what are their values? Like who are you at the core of you as a person? Because it's definitely been times where I've kind of been tapped into, like I said, not necessarily having power over somebody, but seeing somebody's status as power and realizing like it's just a shitty human being, you know?
Yeah. And to get to know somebody's core takes a lot of time
Hmm.
and energy and, to really look with somebody and be with somebody. Um, and it's a process. I feel like this is the longest relationship I ever been in. And it is because I constantly am checking on those old ways of thinking and being like, you know, um, she definitely she said she wanted to come on the show, talk to her about that, I think.
Damn, that would be really dope.
Yeah. Um, oh man. Yeah, man. And initially I was like, eh. And I still kind of am, but talking
Like
about truth,
that's like a hard launch.
man, right? Jeez. Oh man. Um, a part of my lack of truth was being out of integrity with stuff. And I wrote in the email, but not having integrity is like you can't live your life in the same way in every aspect of your life. Where I'm hiding this from this person, that person, that person. They get to see this part of me. So that's still a big part of how I initially be thinking about things. Of okay, because growing up it was like that. Never
Hmm.
bringing, really never bringing friends over to my parents. I got this friend group, I got that friend group. Everything was kind of compartmentalized, and that's a reflection of how I try to compartmentalize my own self. Okay, my feelings got to be over here, my heart got to be over here, my brain got to be over there, this kind of thing, and this is kind of a world where it kind of forces you to do it and you get rewards for it. You got to be a heartless, da 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 da.
Hmm.
But it was like, nah, I, I, it's important for me to be able to have this conversation here, anywhere in the world, at any time, with anybody, because that makes no sense to not be able to have this conversation with you like this and not be able to have it with my mama, my cousin, my sister, my girlfriend, my boss, even. You know what I mean? Well, I have a boss now. um, and just bringing my truth and not out of disrespect and not even bringing stuff up that ain't got nothing to do with anybody, but just bringing my truth in every and all ways. I think the real meaning of keeping it real, keeping it 100, keeping it trill, being who you are authentically, and doing that. And I think everybody does that to a sense because if you really lying to somebody else, that means you lying to yourself.
Yeah.
And that's your reality right now. That's your truth right now. Is you still lying to yourself and all that kind of stuff. So even people that 100 and keep it real and keep it trill and everything like that, they they can be lying, but to them it's the truth. It's the real. So I want to be in integrity with my whole life. So yeah, man, we'll talk about when she can come on and when she wants to come on and everything like that, and kind of conversation we could have. Um, we could put her on mute. Just joking, mate. I'm working on it. I had a joke.
Let me get my
Um,
Ayana Van Zant on and just be coaching. No, I'm playing.
Gotta have them cue cards in hand and be pointing them to.
That's funny.
Oh man, what you think about Shay Shay, man?
uh, I don't know if I expressed this to you, but I feel like just black media in general right now feels very messy.
Yeah.
I'm not really feeling it, you know. It seems like it is entertaining, but at what cost, you know?
Hmm. Yeah. And that kind of comes back to that, like Cat Williams' truth is Cat Williams' truth, but we jump on it and start pointing fingers and blaming and all that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, who is this really helping? Besides Shay Shay and Cat Williams making some money, YouTube making some money, all these platforms, Instagram making money. It ain't nothing new. It's been the same, making money off our messiness and stuff. But if three questions you would ask Cat Williams if he came on here.
I think I would want to know, man, how do you release that hurt? And I thought about that for Monique too. Like, it's like, okay, you've been through all this shit, but like, how do you release, those feelings so you can move on?
Mm-hmm.
Second question. Um,
Who braids your hair?
like, did you really let a kid beat your ass? No. I ain't let no kid beat my ass. Fuck that. You
That's
got me
hilarious.
fucked up.
Stupid.
And my last question would probably be I don't know, man. I'd be curious to know, like, who are you when the camera is not on? Who are you when the microphone is not on?
So I'll ask you those same questions.
Hmm.
How are you releasing uh, all the stuff that you go through?
Uh, I think over time is it's just been doing work. I mean, therapy. I'm not in it right now, but it has been a big tool for me in my journey. Um, Practicing empathy for myself and for others. Like, I think I've gotten to a level where I still can do work around it, but I'm able to see how people are and maybe not necessarily know why they're that way, but give them some grace in they don't have the tools that I have, Like, if I was acting out or experiencing if I was treating somebody in the way I was being treated, then that would be something for me to question. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But because you're not me and you don't have my tools, I could give you some grace, you know. Also, you know, um, as I'm saying, I'm like setting boundaries with motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
Uh and really releasing shit that don't make me feel good. Like, if a person, place, or a thing, like if it don't make me feel good, like I have to find some way to release it, whether it's like writing it down in a journal or really moving on from it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, however I need to release that for myself, I'm gonna do it. I don't really hold on to shit like I used to. I feel like I used to hold on to shit for a long time and be
Mm-hmm.
mad for a long time, but that don't do nothing for me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't get nothing out of that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, Yeah, man. I just have to let it be what it's gonna be. Um, I do give myself a little minute to feel shit and be petty about it and express it. I'm not gonna sit up here and say like all my expressions are just positive expressions.
Mhm.
Sometimes I might and you know, it that young Mike comes out sometimes and he gotta get off some feelings and fuck this and this and that. And once I get to that point, that's when it's like, oh, this is consuming me.
Mhm.
Let me give myself maybe about an hour more of this shit.
Mhm.
And then I can move on. And once I move on, I really move on because I it feels nasty on me now just because I don't
Mhm.
allow myself to go there no more. It feel
Mhm.
nasty. So I don't hold on to it.
Oh, I definitely want to at another time go deeper into your concept of they don't have the tools. I
Hmm.
think I think that's a tool within itself because even if they do have the tools, you have your own understanding of your tools. And so it's like they may have the tools, but they're not using it right now. So I'm gonna use it for myself.
And like I said, I'm conscious of the work that I've done. I don't know everybody's level of work. Like I understand how to communicate with you because I didn't, like I said, I done did some yoga classes. I done did some meditations. I didn't learn how to like write out my feelings. I learned how to cope with life in a different way
Mhm.
than you. So, we not gonna respond to things the same. And like I said, I have to be very conscious of that because sometimes I get brought back to that younger
Mhm.
version of myself and it don't feel good. It don't feel good when he come out to play. So I really be having to let him know, like, I got this. We good.
And you talking about Cat Williams, but that kid be whooping your ass sometimes. That inner child be going upside your head, man. So give Cat some grace.
And you know what? I do give him grace, but again, I got more control over mine than most people because I've learned how to do that over time. Sometimes it just don't even seem like people are conscious of that shit, you know? And yeah, those are the people that sometimes bring me to that space. But yeah, I constantly have to remind myself. Breathing helps me too. I ain't gonna lie to
Okay.
you. Breathing really be helping me through life. Like when I'm feeling nervous, when I'm feeling like I'm about to go there, like taking a couple of breaths will really pull me out of some shit.
That's what's up. The gardeners are here. I can hear them in the background. Who is Mike when the camera and the mic is off?
Who is Mike when the camera and the mic is off? Um, Mike is human. Mike is human. I feel like I have just as much positive and negative in me that everybody else does. I I tap into him just like everybody else. I would say that I'm definitely tapped into my artist more uh than I've ever been in my life right now. And yeah, what I mean by that is like really being able to express myself like on and off the canvas. That's what I mean by that authentically.
Dope, man. I appreciate it. I like our format of I like having a conversation with you that, you know, we have a question or whatever that comes up and then we able to talk about it. Like you said, because we have done similar work, I think the conversation we done similar work and we known each other for 21 years. So I think we've done similar work on a similar timeline. And I appreciate that. And it comes into the conversation. Uh, Even having communicate, like it makes a difference. It makes a difference. Um, Having conversations and communication with my girl sometimes, it's you could like we're not always on the same uh like wavelength, I would just say. I don't know. And it's because she's had different experiences and I've had different experiences. She'd healed in some ways, I've healed in other ways. But understanding that, wow, investing. time into this and showing up as my real self, we are gaining more and more synchronicity.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we go to couples therapy, and the therapist canceled this week. But before we were going to couples therapy, we had a real conversation. And usually I would have like tried to wait until the perfect time or wait until whatever. Like I'm trying not to hold in my truth. Like it don't make it taste better if I hold it in longer and stuff like
No.
that. I'm trying to really, because I grew up with that and seeing that, seeing people just sit on something and hold it in and create a perfect time to release it in their mind that never comes up. It's like, man, this is on my mind. This is eating at me. I need to say it, but I'm also still understanding I'm learning communication skills on how to say it in a way where um, it's not just me trying to release my hurt on somebody, like through pettiness, through anger, through frustration, and like, oh, I want you to feel how I'm feeling because you did this and that. Like, no, 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 no. What are you really trying to communicate? How do you feel? And not use your words as a weapon to try to make somebody feel how you feel, but to really communicate because you trust in the love. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, if I release this here into this love, it'll be cool. It ain't gonna come back. You know what I mean? It's something I gotta hide myself from, shield and all that kind of stuff. So it takes a lot of trust, takes a lot of understanding and patience, and having time to work on yourself, man. So I appreciate you answering those 3 questions. And for a cat, if you ever hear these, I hope he's able to answer them and everybody else, man. Um,
Something that came up for me as you were talking about holding stuff in. In my in my head, I imagine like you ever got a texturizer, like a wave kit, and the longer you leave that shit in, like a perm, that shit just start burning. You just
right.
can't hold that shit in too long because it's gonna burn inside.
And the more you hold it in, the longer you hold that perm in, the less natural you look.
Mm-hmm.
So it pulls you away from who you really authentically are. You be, oh man, remember Jay Boog? Dudes had the spiky hair, man. I had that for a second, man, just because I left it in too long and it didn't come out right. So my hair was just straight. It's like that's not natural. It ain't natural. It may look cool for that moment, whatever time it's going in, but it ain't natural. So the longer you hold it in, the further you come away from your naturalness, man, your
I,
authentic self, your
I
truth.
remember I had one I left in too long. My shit was looking like Tiger Woods.
That's wild. Yeah, man. That's good. That's good, Mike. Um, yeah, man. And shout out to all y'all who witnessing this unfold as we figure out what this is. This is just a compilation of over 20 years of two souls coming together and decided to live in this world together, man. There's been a lot of people over those 20 years who ain't there. And then some people who coming, but I think to be able to share um, and have this experience is something. I just finished that Bell Hooks book, Willing, and she talks about how men do not share action, passionate experiences with other men outside of maybe sports or something like that. So to be able to have a passionate experience with another man and it not be gay and it not be, oh, that's wrong. Like for real, like men
Yeah.
is, and especially men who are like very stoic, it's like, oh, if another man getting too passionate, I can't be around men who can't keep their emotions locked in and stuff like that. Cause it's like, oh, that's gonna lead to trouble. You know what I mean? So to be able to have passionate exchanges with another man is is essential to mental health. Cause I think you shared it or
Yeah.
somebody else shared it where men need to spend time with each other at least like 2 times a week where you could just talk and be who you are and everything like that. Um, and you get in a relationship, you get in a family with a woman, and you really ain't. you're not taking that time. It's just, you and that woman, and she great, but it's important for us to have that other connection as men, and being honest and truthful, and not just going into the Jordan versus LeBron debate.
And I think because I hear you say that as men, and I think just as humans, it's
As
important
humans.
for us to just have balance because, again, I mention these groups I'm a part of because this is my essentially my community right now, but I'm a part of two male groups, and it's interesting to see the conversations that come up in those groups. And my other group, my creative group, is more feminine dominant.
Mm-hmm.
And the different things that come up in that, and it's like I connect to both sides of this. Like all of these things are things that come up for me in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, I think we all need that balance.
It's important, man, because like this is a world that try to make you compartmentalize yourself, where you gotta wear and look in all these different kind of parts. This is the corporate me. This is the even those those TikTok trend. I'm from here. Of course, I'm like this. And I do this thing. No, it ain't no. Of course, you might be from here, but you do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. Like just because so um, all that, man. I got to get out of here. Um, I was gonna say I'm headed to LA, but you ain't in LA, so and you ain't been to LA for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But I got to get out of here. Appreciate you, Mike Brown.
That's the bad man. I
Uh,
appreciate you too. I appreciate y'all tuning in. This has been Feel Free Conversations, episode 6.
oh yeah,
Episode
let me
6.
let me drop the stuff because we coming up on another workshop we're going to be doing in 2 weeks. Go ahead and get the description. Click the description and the link in below so you can get it. We got yeah, and then we're gonna send you some meditations and everything else so you can chill with us. But this workshop is really putting some yoga and mindfulness and other tools and techniques behind these conversations that we have. So we talk about it here, and we're gonna give you some tools in the workshop that we got coming up. Um, it's called the Yelling the Yoga Workshop. From me and doing that. So go ahead and get that link so you can be a part of that. What you got coming up, Mike Brown?
What do I have coming up? So new episodes of The Art of Letting Go will be out next month. Next month I'm doing Merch Madness. So last year,
Hey.
myself and Yanni Blue, we had a competition. It was a friendly competition, but you know, to sell merch and see how much of it we could sell. And I did pretty well last year. I sold over like 20 pieces of merch this year. I would love to do 50. Actually, this shirt that I'm wearing right now, this podcaster shirt, is a Yanni Blue shirt. He just designed a bunch of shirts for creatives, musicians, painters, film, photography, and podcasters. And this is a reminder. Actually, this helped me in making a decision yesterday and reminded me of who I am to know my value. So get you your artist shirt. Um, yeah, Merch
Love it.
Madness. We're gonna be selling as much merch as we can. We're gonna be releasing some music. Uh, Follow me all social media. Like I said, new episodes of The Art of Letting Go. We're also doing a mini podcast for Merch Madness. And we still have a workshop to work on. So that may be coming next month as well.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah.
Who won between you and Yanni?
Of course, me. No,
That's funny.
that's hilarious.
Oh man, I love it. Excuse me, and I'm just getting out of here, man. But I'm here.
No, it's all
Love
good,
it.
man.
Yeah, man. So as always, feel free to feel free and namaste. Peace, peace, peace.
Peace, y'all.